don't give a damn. Tells it straight just who he am. No filter, no fear, he cuts through the noise. Dick Buttons speaking truth with that big old voice. It's the world, yeah, the world. According to Dick Buttons, Fridays get real every damn week. Tune in, lean in, and let the man speak.
Hey. Yeah, it's Dick. And as you could hear from the tone in my voice, I'm already in a bad mood. But welcome to the world according to Dick Buttons. I'm Dick Buttons, and I'm just giving you fair warning. This episode is going to be rant heavy. So let's get fucking started.
Hold on to your feelings and buckle up your pants. It's time for Dick Buttons Rant.
So last week, Vincenzo and I reviewed James Gunn's Superman. And prior to recording that episode, I posted my review on Facebook. You know what really lights my fuse? These keyboard tough guys and big mouth know-it-alls who the second you share an opinion they don't like, skip right past the debate and head straight for the old reliable, "You're stupid." Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was a conversation, not a third-grade playground spat. Is that where we are now? If someone doesn't bow at the altar of your almighty opinion, they must be some drooling idiot? That's your intellectual high ground? Here's a newsflash. Having a different point of view doesn't make me stupid. It makes me a functioning adult in a world built on diversity of thought. If you can't handle a little disagreement without going straight for personal insults, maybe you're the one whose brain's running on fumes. But that's the world we live in now, right? The I disagree, therefore you're an idiot culture. No dialogue, no exchange of ideas, just cheap shots and fake internet bravado. I'm reading these responses to my Facebook post, and people, short of calling me an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about, it's a fucking opinion, people. So let me be crystal clear. You don't have to like what I've got to say. You don't have to agree. But if the best you've got is calling me stupid, congratulations. You just proved you've got nothing. End of story. Let's cut the crap, people. Last week's All-Star Game in Atlanta ended in a first ever scripted swing-off derby sham. And you expect me to buy it? A 6-0 National League lead erased by the American League, tied 6-6, and rather than settle it by baseball, we get a choreographed 3-swing home run derby? Don't front. It's not sport. It's manufactured theater. First, the National League fireworks. Cato Marte doubles. Pete Alonso nails a 3-run shot. Corbin Carroll adds fuel, and the National League leads 6-0. Then the American League rallies late with Brent Rooker's 3-run moonshot, and suddenly we're tied. Then comes this swing-off. Chosen before the game, Boone picks Rooker, Arozarena, and Aranda while leaving out true sluggers like Judge and Guerrero Jr. Seriously? You script the cast for high-stakes exhibition and call it authentic? And Schwarber? Sure. He drills 3 home runs in the tiebreaker. Fine. But does that legitimize the circus? No. It's a publicity stunt masquerading as an athletic competition. So MLB, stop gaslighting us. If rookies hit dingers, but the game itself feels pre-appointed, it makes a mockery of the sport's integrity. Enough with the pandering. Let us see real fucking baseball, not this carnival of entertainment loopholes. The All-Star Game isn't sacred, it's assembled. And that's as fixed as it gets. Okay, listen up, kids. I've had it up to my eyeballs with this. Can we talk about the absolute extortion racket known as pizza topping charges? You walk into your neighborhood pizzeria, or God forbid you order online, and all you want is a pie, let's say with black olives. Just some olives. You know, the ones that come in a can that cost about $1.99? For a whole freaking can at the supermarket. And what does the pizzeria hit you with? $1.50 per topping. Are you kidding me? Is that quarter scoop of olive sprinkled on like it's a rare truffle shaving supposed to be $1.50 worth of value? Are these olives flown in fresh from a private grove in Italy by helicopter? No, they're just the same generic food service olives they've been using since 1985. Let's break this down. A large pizza costs around $18 to $20 now. That's before toppings. You want olives and pepperoni? Congratulations, you just got mugged for another $3 to $4. And for what? A handful of toppings scattered like they're made of gold dust? You're paying like you're buying stock in the olive oil company. I'm convinced pizzerias think toppings are some kind of side hustle. They don't even try to hide it. It's right there on the menu, $1.50 per topping. And we all just keep paying it like sheep. It's legalized robbery with melted cheese on top. You want to charge a premium for ingredients? Fine. But when $1.50 gets me 7 olives and a prayer, it's a joke. A greasy, overpriced, oregano-sprinkled joke. Hey, pizzerias, either pile on the toppings or drop the mafia pricing, because right now, the only thing getting sliced thinner than your mozzarella is my patience.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hold up, it's 5. Dick Buttons list are coming in live. From the best to the worst, you don't want to miss. It's Dick Buttons Top 5 list. Count them down, baby.
You ever notice how we all have that one convenience store we swear by? The one that hooks us up with killer coffee, late night snacks, or the world's greatest breakfast sandwich, all while robbing us blind on a $3 bottle of water. Well, today we're diving in to the real heavy hitters of the convenience store world, the chains that just aren't gas stations, they're mini empires. We're talking loyalty, cult followings, signature foods, and the kind of brand power most fast food joints would kill for. This isn't some fluff list. This is a deep dive into who's running the game, who's expanding, and who's still stuck in 1993. So buckle up, kids. It's time for Dick Button's Top 5 Convenience Stores. Coming in at number 5, Quick Check, founded in 1967 in Dunellen, New Jersey, a Northeast staple, especially in New Jersey, known for its subs, coffee, and community presence. What set them apart? Famous for their Quick Check subs and coffee bar, clean stores, fast service, and a real local vibe. Fun fact, Quick Check runs an annual balloon festival in New Jersey, the largest on the East Coast. The future? Now owned by Murphy USA, expect expansion of their food service model in the mid-Atlantic area. Coming in at number 4, Circle K, founded in 1951 in El Paso, Texas. A Southwest-born chain turned global powerhouse known for consistency and reach. What sets them apart from others? Massive presence across Europe, Canada, and the U.S. Go-to stop for the essentials, reliable and everywhere. Fun fact, made famous in pop culture by Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Their future? Going big on EV charging stations and fueling international growth, especially in Asia and Europe. Coming in at number 3, Sheetz, founded in 1952 in Altoona, Pennsylvania, where convenience meets fast food before anyone else thought of it. What sets them apart from others? Pioneered MTO, made-to-order touchscreens. Known for their 24/7 menus, burgers, subs, mac and cheese bites. Fun fact, Sheetz throws a massive employee festival every year. Loyalty done right. And their future? Expansion into new states like Ohio, West Virginia, and North Carolina with upgraded ordering tech. Coming in at number 2, and now we're getting into the big boys. Wawa. Founded in 1964 in Folsom, Pennsylvania. From iron foundry to dairy farm to convenience royalty, Wawa's East Coast empire is unmatched. What sets them apart? Fresh hoagies, breakfast sandwiches, and coffee that actually taste good. Cult-like following, and famously clean stores. I know somebody who just hangs out and drinks coffee with friends. Fun fact, Wawa means Canada Goose. Look at the logo next time you're there. Their future? Expanding hard into Florida and the South, plus drive-through stores and mobile ordering coming soon. And coming in at number 1, 7-Eleven, founded in 1927 in Dallas, Texas. The OG of convenience stores. Started as totem stores and changed the game. What sets them apart? They invented the to-go coffee cup trend. The Slurpee became a global icon. Over 83,000 stores worldwide, the biggest in the biz. Fun fact, they're behind innovations like ATM machines in stores and 24/7 service. Their future? Doubling down on delivery, cashless stores, and healthier options. They're not slowing down anytime soon. And as always, with every Dick Button's top 5 list, there are honorable mentions that just didn't make the list. Casey's General Store, 1968, Iowa. Best gas station pizza in the Midwest. Small town vibe with big time fans. Royal Farms, 1959, Baltimore. Known for their fried chicken. Yes, fried chicken at a convenience store. Speedway, 1952, Michigan. Midwest staple recently bought by 7-Eleven. Watch this space. Come and Go, 1959, in Iowa. Fun name, great community reputation, killer snacks. And Get Go, 2001, Pittsburgh. Owned by Giant Eagle, growing fast with quality food and friendly service. From Wawa loyalty to Quick Check's Jersey charm, these are the lifeblood of every road trip. Coffee run and snack craving. And yes, some charge way too much for a bottle of water.
TV spotlight, what's hot, what's not. Dick's got opinions and he's bringing them hot. From sitcom gold to streaming flops, he's calling it out till the static stops. It's the TV spotlight.
Let's talk about a TV show that somehow redefined comedy by making you root for the absolute worst human beings imaginable. And laugh your face off while doing it. I'm talking about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. This madhouse of a show kicked off in 2005, born out of pure indie grit. Rob McElhenney, now Rob Mack, a struggling actor at the time, filmed a pilot with Charlie Day and Glenn Howerton for a whopping $200 budget. FX picked it up, and suddenly we had a sitcom with no laugh track, no heartwarming moments, just 5 narcissistic, depraved idiots running a Philly bar and constantly out-scheming each other. Early on, the show needed a boost, so McElhenney brought in Danny DeVito in season 2. And that move took the series from cult classic to cultural phenomenon. DeVito's Frank Reynolds wasn't just stunt casting. He became the chaotic, sleazy glue that held the entire degenerate ensemble together. Over 18 seasons, yes, 18 and counting, the show pushes boundaries nobody else dared touch. Drugs, politics, gun control, social issues, all filtered through the completely immoral lens of the gang. It's managed to stay relevant by never compromising its brutal humor or its dark, self-aware edge. Guest stars? Oh, they've had a few. Sean Diddy Combs, Guillermo del Toro, Josh Groban, even Sinbad and Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20. But this show never relied on cameos. It's always been about the twisted chemistry of its core 5. As for the future, the gang ain't done yet. FX has renewed them through season 20, making it the longest-running live-action comedy in American TV history. They've got their hit podcast. They're branching into other creative projects, but It's Always Sunny still feels like a cockroach that'll survive the apocalypse. Why does it work? Because they never let the gang learn a damn thing. No lessons, no growth, just unfiltered chaos season after season. So if you want your sitcoms with a side of dark, deranged genius, It's Always Sunny is the gold standard.
Lights, camera, action. From scene stealers to silver screen legends, it's time for Dick Button's Actor Spotlight.
Welcome to another edition of Actor Spotlight. And today, the woman who became every woman. When you talk about acting with a capital A, There's one name that makes the rest of Hollywood elite clutch their Oscars just a little tighter. Meryl Streep. The gold standard. The Swiss Army knife of actors. The woman who could probably play you better than you could do. Born in 1949 in Summit, New Jersey. She's a Jersey girl. Meryl didn't exactly emerge from the womb clutching a script. But by the time she hit her 20s, it was very clear this woman had it. She studied drama at Vassar College, then earned an MFA from Yale School of Drama, where her classmates described her as, well, on another level entirely. She almost went into opera. That's right, those pipes are classically trained, but she fell for the theater and never looked back. Meryl started turning heads in the theater world, but her film breakthrough came in 1978's The Deer Hunter. It wasn't a big role, but it was a powerful one, and it got her an Oscar nomination right out of the gate. The very next year, Kramer vs. Kramer, a performance so raw, so layered, it made America rethink divorce, motherhood, and what screen acting could even be. She won her first Oscar, and she was just getting started. What sets Meryl apart from all the others? Her accents. Russian, Polish, Danish, Australian, Bronx, you name it, she nails it. She doesn't imitate accents, she lives in them. Chameleonic ability. One minute she's a tortured Holocaust survivor, the next she's Julia Child cooking up something in the kitchen. Emotional precision. Streep doesn't overact. She doesn't underact. She dissects a role until it breathes and bleeds truth. Her range. Drama, comedy, musicals, biopics, even campy villains. She's never phoned it in. There's a reason why they say, if there's a role you really want, pray Meryl Streep doesn't want it too. She's won 3 Academy Awards from a staggering 21 nominations. That's 21, kids, and that is a record. Her wins were for Best Supporting Actress in Kramer vs. Kramer in 1979, Best Actress in Sophie's Choice in 1982, and again Best Actress in The Iron Lady in 2011. She's won 8 Golden Globes, 2 BAFTAs, and 3 Emmys. Also, the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2014 because even the White House had to bow. At this point, it's easier to count the awards she hasn't won. Her best performances? Sophie's Choice, 1982. Her performance as a Polish Holocaust survivor is devastatingly flawless and nearly too good. The choice scene? Pure cinematic pain. Doubt, from 2008. As Sister Aloysius, she exudes control, suspicion, and vulnerability, often all in the same line. A masterclass in restrained intensity. The Devil Wears Prada, 2006. Miranda Priestly is the villain we love to hate, and Streep made her more than just a caricature. Icy, brilliant, and surprisingly human. Angels in America, 2003, an HBO miniseries. She played multiple roles, including a rabbi. And each was textured, thoughtful, and transcendent. The Iron Lady from 2011. Whether you love or loathe Margaret Thatcher, Streep's transformation is undeniable. She became the Iron Lady, physically and emotionally. Now look, even Meryl Streep can have a misfire. So here are some performances that didn't quite make the mark. She-Devil, 1989, a rare case of Streep chewing scenery a little too hard, a satire that never quite hits the mark. Mamma Mia, 2008. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, she sells it, but vocally, a bit rough. ABBA deserved better pipes. Still, you can't say she didn't commit. Lions for Lambs, 2007. Even with Streep and Redford, this political drama fizzled fast. She does what she can, but the film is all talk, no soul. The House of Spirits, 1993. An overlong, miscast epic where Streep felt completely out of place along with most of the whitewashed cast. In Rendition in 2007, she plays a CIA official with a southern drawl that feels a little off. And in a film that already drags, it just doesn't help. Let's be clear though, even her bad is still better than most actors' good. Her place in Hollywood history? Meryl Streep isn't just part of Hollywood, she redefined what a female actor could be. She came along at a time when women were either bombshells or background noise, and she said, "How might I play a fully realized human being instead?" She paved the way for every serious actress working today, from Cate Blanchett to Viola Davis. Meryl kicked open the doors and held them wide open. So where does she rank? Top 3, period. Some say she's the GOAT, and frankly, they're not wrong. Brando had power, De Niro had grit, Pacino had fire, but Meryl, she had it all, and kept it for decades. Longevity, consistency, transformation, depth, nobody has juggled those more with grace than Streep. What will Meryl leave behind? A blueprint for what serious acting looks like. A mountain of iconic roles that will outlive all of us. Proof that talent, brains, and being subtle can command an industry full of explosions and tight pants. And maybe, most importantly, she made it okay to be powerful, brainy, and female in an industry that didn't always welcome that. She's been called the best actress of her generation. Nah, she's the best actress of any generation. So this has been this week's Actor Spotlight, paying full respect to the immortal and magnificent Meryl Streep. Only on The World According to Dick Buttons, where the spotlight burns just a little bit brighter.
Hey there, friends. It's time to reminisce. We're taking a trip to the land of bliss. Da 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 da. Remember this? Oh yes, you do. That thing you loved in '82. From Saturday mornings to corner store bliss, we're bringing it back. Remember this.
All right, welcome to another segment of Remember This. And this week, we're talking about when shopping meant flipping pages and filling out forms. Let's rewind the clock to the glorious 1980s when big hair was in, Saturday morning cartoons ruled, and if you wanted a toaster, a VCR, or the hottest Transformers toy, you didn't browse aisles, you flipped through the catalog. Enter Consumers Distributing and Arthur's, two titans of the catalog showroom era. A strange but strangely efficient retail model that somehow bridged mail order convenience with physical shopping. Let's look at Consumers Distributing first. Founded in 1957 by Jack Stupp in Toronto, Canada, Consumers was a hybrid between a warehouse and a retail store. You walked in, stood at a counter, filled out a little carbon copy slip from a thick catalog, and handed it to a clerk who vanished into the back to retrieve your item. If it was in stock, that is. By the 1980s, Consumers had exploded with over 400 locations across Canada and even parts of the United States, including New York and Michigan. At its peak, in the mid-80s, it was raking in over $1.4 billion in annual revenue, making it one of Canada's largest retailers. It carried everything: electronics, toys, watches, home appliances, jewelry, perfumes. If it fit in the back room, it was in the book. Consumers Distributing was so well known that the phrase "please check stock" became part of the Canadian retail lexicon, because you never quite knew if they actually had that toaster you were after. Consumers was actually my high school job. Worked my way up from stock boy to jewelry department manager. Aren't you impressed? Now let's flip the page to Arthur's, Consumers' scrappy Canadian rival. Founded by Arthur Tallis, Arthur's followed the same model. Catalog first, front counter service with no traditional shelves to browse. Arthur's peaked a little earlier and was always smaller in scale compared to Consumers, They had dozens of locations across Canada, especially Ontario. Though not as dominant, Arthur's was known for sharper pricing, a more curated catalog, and for pushing brand name electronics and watches before they became mainstream mall fare. Earnings aren't as well documented, but they were strong enough to compete head-to-head with consumers in the 1970s and early 80s before slowly shrinking in consumers' shadow. So why did these catalog stores work? Back then, real estate was expensive. Showroom stores minimized floor space and relied on centralized warehouse inventory. They could offer lower prices since they didn't have to pay for elaborate displays or massive storefront layouts. And before the internet, catalog shopping was the next best thing to ordering from home. You'd flip through a book the size of a phone directory. You Gen Zers know what that is? And dream about what your next paycheck could buy. They were especially popular for holiday shopping, like a physical Amazon wish list. So what happened? Inventory frustration, for one. Nothing burned a customer like choosing that perfect item only to hear, sorry, out of stock. Big box stores like Walmart, Zellers, and Best Buy started to offer the same products and let you touch them first. Then came e-commerce, the final nail. Why drive across town and fill out a form when you could just click a button at home? Consumers Distributing filed for bankruptcy in 1996. Arthur's faded out even earlier, quietly shuttering most locations in the late 80s to early 90s. Some fun facts. Consumers Distributing was an early adopter of barcode tech in retail, way ahead of its time. The Consumer's Catalog was a must-read bathroom book in Canadian homes. People circled items like it was a Sears wish book. Some vintage consumers' price tags are still stuck on retro electronics being sold at yard sales today, making them weirdly nostalgic collector's items. Arthur's name was intentionally personal, a reflection of its founder's belief in customer service as a family experience, even if the process felt robotic. So remember this: before there was Amazon Prime, before two-day delivery, and next-gen logistics, we had carbon slips, counter clerks, and a little bit of magic in every catalog page turn. It was retail roulette, and somehow it worked. Consumers Distributing and Arthur's. The catalog kings that once ruled retail, now just ghosts in the warehouse of our memory.
Thought he was done? Think again. He's fired up and taking names. It's time for Big Button Rants.
Let me ask you something, America. What in the ever-loving hell is going on with public restrooms? I'm talking about the crime scenes they dare to call bathrooms in restaurants, movie theaters, and department stores. These aren't restrooms. They're biohazard test sites. They're where dignity goes to die. You walk into one of these places and it hits you like a brick wall of shame and ammonia. The stench alone could knock a buzzard off a wagon. Toilets unflushed, toilet paper shredded like someone had a nervous breakdown in there. Water, at least I hope it's water, pooled around the base of the bowl like the aftermath of a plumbing massacre. There's graffiti on the stall that looks like it was carved by a prisoner with nothing but rage and a fork. The mirror's cracked, the hand dryer's broken, and the soap dispenser? Empty, of course, because why not rub your bare hands together like you're starting a fire, you filthy animal? Oh, and the floor? That sticky, slimy, slippery Jackson Pollock painting of filth? Seriously, I've seen horror films with less disturbing visuals. Now here's the question that burns hotter than the automatic hand dryer that doesn't work. How hard is it to keep a bathroom clean? We're not talking rocket science. We're talking about soap, a mop, and 10 minutes of giving a damn. If your restaurant can plate a filet mignon or a kale salad with a drizzle of raspberry reduction, you sure as hell can wipe the seat and refill the damn soap. Movie theaters? Oh, you've got the budget to put reclining leather seats and Dolby Atmos surround, but you can't put someone on mop duty twice a day? And department stores? Don't get me started. You've got 8,000 square feet of overpriced jeans and scented candles, but your bathroom looks like a gas station in a zombie apocalypse. It's disrespectful, it's lazy, and it's downright un-American. You expect me to spend my money in your establishment? Then how about you don't make me feel like I need tetanus shots just for taking a leak? It's not just gross, it's a warning sign. Because if you're not taking care of the most basic part of your business, the place where people literally expel bodily fluids, then what does that say about your kitchen, your food prep, your staff hygiene? Let me be perfectly clear. If your bathroom is a hellhole, I'm walking out because that's how you treat your facilities. I can only imagine what your fryer oil looks like. Spoiler alert, it probably hasn't been changed since the Bush administration. This has been another no holds barred call to arms from Dick Buttons. If you run a business, clean your bathroom. If you don't, prepare to be named, shamed, and flushed down the cultural toilet of relevance. Because nothing says we don't care like a public restroom that smells like despair, broken dreams, and urinal cakes from 1994. Okay, I want to talk about something that happened probably 2 or 3 years ago, but I still get fired up every time I think about it. Delivery drivers who treat my package like it's a damn shot put at the Summer Olympics. No, scratch that. Like they're trying to land a trick shot from 25 feet away in some extreme fragile destruction YouTube challenge. I'm talking Amazon, UPS, FedEx, take your pick. They all have their moments, but Amazon, oh boy, you've taken it to new heights of hellish laziness. This guy shows up to my house, not with care, not with professionalism, but with the grace of a drunken barfly throwing a folding chair at a Denny's bouncer. Oh, I got doorbell camera footage, people. You hear me? Video proof. This driver just didn't set it down with a little too much force. No. He wound up like he was going for the 7-10 split in a bowling alley made of bubble wrap and broken dreams, and launched my package like he was being timed in a strongman competition. How do you know there wasn't something fragile in the box? Maybe it was electronics, maybe glassware, maybe, just maybe, it's the last shreds of my sanity trying to hold themselves together in this dystopian wasteland of 2-day delivery gone berserk. And what's the excuse? Too many stops, running late, not enough time? Boo freaking who? You took the job, buddy. You wear the vest, you scan the barcodes. Then you gently put my damn thing on my porch like a civilized human being, not like you're trying to impress a scout from the NFL combine. You know what I miss? Human decency. I miss when a package came and the guy waved, maybe even gave a little nod like, hey, I cared enough not to treat your $89 Bluetooth speaker like it was a racquetball. You ever see a driver toss a clearly marked fragile box onto concrete like they're in a frat house keg toss? It's infuriating. You know what that is? That's not just careless. That's spiteful. And Amazon, don't act like your hands are clean. You track every second of a package journey like it's under CIA surveillance, but you can't track the trajectory of your driver's fastball onto my welcome mat? Let me tell you something. The next time I get a busted item and I catch it on video, I'm sending it straight to your headquarters, Jeff. I want a refund, an apology, and a personal visit from someone who knows how gravity works. So here's the deal. If you're a driver who takes pride in what you do, I salute you. But if you're the kind of person who treats every box like it's personally insulted your mother, get another fucking job. Because here at The World According to Dick Buttons, we believe in respect, responsibility, and not throwing people's stuff like you're competing in the Olympics of stupidity. Let's call this rant Special Delivery, Go to Hell. And next time, leave the package. Not a crater. All right, strap in, kids, because this ain't going to be gentle. This is a full throttle, no seatbelt, high octane, nuclear powered rant, and it's long overdue. Today, I'm talking about, brace yourself, people who stink. Now, before you grab your pitchforks or your crusty hemp poncho in defense, let me lay one thing down real clear. I got sympathy for people with legit medical conditions, hormonal, metabolic, whatever. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the human garbage fog rolling off of people who just don't even try. Look, I get it. Life's hard. We're all tired. But for the love of everything sacred and scented, how hard is it to wash yourself? You've got working limbs. You've got access to water. Congratulations. You're already more than halfway to not smelling like the inside of a dead camel's colon. There is no earthly excuse for walking around smelling like boiled onions, battery acid, and regret. None. And don't come at me with, it's just my natural musk. No, Brad, it's not musk. Musk is sexy. Musk is what you put in cologne to smell like a goddamn woodland deity. You smell like an old gym sock that got left in a microwave. You ever been on the subway in July? Trapped in an elevator with one of these feral pits of doom? Your nose hairs curl up and die. People stop breathing just to survive. I saw a child cry once, not because she was scared, but because her soul was offended. We have entire industries, billions of dollars dedicated to helping you not smell like hot trash. Deodorant, soap, shampoo, hell, there are wipes, sprays, powders, and even fragrance beads that you can chuck in your shoes. If you're still rank after all of that, it ain't the universe's fault. It's yours. And don't tell me it's cultural. There is zero culture on this planet where reeking like despair and armpit gravy is a sign of status. None. Zip. Not even feral wolves will hang with you if your stench is loud enough to trigger car alarms. So here's the deal. If you're an adult and you smell like a compost pile on fire in the sun, you failed at basic human decency. You're a biological war crime. You're a public menace. You're the reason I carry Vicks Vapor Rub in my pocket. So unless you're stuck in a bunker with no plumbing and 6 zombies trying to eat your face, you owe it to the rest of us to soap yourself daily. And for those of you who smell fantastic, thank you. You're doing God's work. You walk into a room and people exhale in relief. You restore faith in humanity, one whiff at a time. But for the rest of you stench monsters out there, fix it. Fix it now. I'm tired of holding my breath like it's the damn Olympic trials just to get past your stink cloud. We are all prisoners of your funk, and I want parole. I'm Dick Buttons, and that's the sweaty, pungent, eye-watering truth.
He's bold, he's sharp, he's in the know. Get ready, folks, it's Vincenzo. Say his name and feel the glow. Buckle up, kids, you're in the Vincenzo.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Vincenzone time, and we are going to combine the Vincenzone segment with Album Spotlight. So today, we're going to fire up this spotlight on an album that didn't just rescue a career, it rewrote the rulebook. We're talking about Band on the Run by Paul McCartney and Wings, the album that turned critics' jeers into cheers and proved McCartney wasn't just a Beatle, he was a force of his own. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now, I'll give you credit. You chose this album for, I think this is our my second or third album spotlight. Oh my God, I'm losing track. I have no idea. We'll start with this. Why did you choose this album?
This was my very first piece of vinyl. It was a gift from my cousin who came up from North Carolina and said, "Here, I bought you a gift."
Were you a Paul McCartney and Wings fan?
I was actually a Beatles fan. Really liked Paul McCartney as the in the Beatles.
I have to be honest. I missed the boat on the Beatles. I mean, I was young, I guess.
Yeah, but you now did you love Elvis back then?
Okay, well there's
Okay.
the I guess the problem with that statement. So I understand the gravitas of the Beatles.
Right.
I understand their place in music history.
Right.
I like some of the songs. I think
Okay.
by the time they got, we're already veering off drastically. I think by the time they got to the drug-infused, the White Album and Sgt. Pepper's, it was, I'm sorry, hot garbage. That's my take.
Oh no.
No.
I think my mom was very progressive in music, so she had listened to them from the very beginning, Meet the Beatles, and then of course I was borrowing all her vinyl to play on my turntable, so then that's how I got attached. Just probably the same way you got attached to Elvis, but
Yeah, definitely my mom. Yes.
you really did see them evolve.
Right, but my point of okay, all right, we'll table this for maybe another. So again, you chose it because it was given to you as a gift as your first album.
Correct.
I'll let you lead this. Why did you? Evidently, you love this album because you chose it for Album Spotlight.
I did. I loved it. It actually was very it wasn't a concept album, but it was very groundbreaking for Paul because I had listened to his first two solo albums and it was like, yeah, it's not really doing it for me. And this had just cracked it right open. And my cousin, whose name rhymes with Joseph Greco, who gave it to me, said, you got to listen to it from beginning to end. You can't just listen to one or two songs and then leave it. He says, you just got to listen to the whole thing.
So it's not a concept album, though.
So it's not a concept album. I think he just he didn't find his footing with the first two albums, and this really cemented. His bass playing was different. He was picking up more 3 or 4 medleys to put into a song, like he did back in the Beatles. For me, this was where it really had started.
So you're saying until this point for this album, I guess it was around 1973. You said he had 2 previous.
Yeah, it was the Red Rose Speedway and a forgettable first album.
So not critically acclaimed.
Well, not critically acclaimed, but also not very listenable. And then it didn't. And the albums weren't very cohesive. You know, back then albums had a theme. They had a cover. Everything kind of was like a story. And the first 2 sounded like he was just kind of sitting back, smoking, strumming.
So then my exposure to Wings, then I know all the mainstream. Is that where all these hits came from? So again, I
think at the same time of the release of this album, he also had done the title track for Live and Let Die. So that kind of sparked a little interest in the Band on the Run album. That helped.
What was the big? Well, we'll get into that. So, all right, 1973, post Beatles. They've been shaky at best. The Wings. You're saying 2 albums, not tearing up the world.
No.
What are some of the things that made this album different, special? Anything you have for me? I see you have a book here, Vincenzo. I think that's pretty cool.
I do. I think he was not only putting the 3 or 4 medley into the songs, some of the songs, his bass was drastically different from his first 2 albums, and it seemed to channel more of his Beatles music. I think he was trying different things. I think the unsung hero of this album, Jeff Emmerich, who was their sound engineer, really gave him the sound that he needed.
Okay. Why was this filmed in Nigeria? If you could articulate that.
Paul McCartney wanted to go somewhere exotic, and EMI, their record label, had different locations around the world. And he said, all right, I think I'm going to pick Nigeria. Having never been to Nigeria or talked to anybody from Nigeria, he just thought it was an exotic location.
Now, from what the research that I did, that turned out to be a bit of a problematic choice.
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. Almost lost his life, 2 or 3 times?
They supposedly him and Linda were mugged?
Him and Linda were mugged. They went out for a stroll. They had their master tapes on them and notes, and 5 guys pulled up in a car.
Did they know who they
had no idea. His wife was screaming, "Don't kill him! It's Peter Paul Beetle."
Why? But why were they carrying the masters with them?
Good question. Maybe he felt insecure with leaving them. Maybe he thought they would get robbed if he left them at home.
Well,
ironically,
there's poor planning right there.
Right.
I'll cut out that. So it was robbed at knife point. So were there any guest stars on this album? That's of any note?
There was.
Now I have my research. I have only one guest star.
There was only one guest star. In Nigeria, Ginger Baker, the drummer from Cream, the former drummer from Cream, had a studio in Nigeria, in Lagos, Nigeria, where he was also at, and insisted that he come over and do recording there. Not something he was crazy about, but he.
But I have here that Paul politely passed on that offer for the studio.
No, he went.
Okay.
begrudgingly, but he went, and I don't know whose idea it was to play the one song that they were recording. But Ginger Baker ended up playing not the drums, but a tin can with gravel.
Well, that's my favorite instrument. One other guest star, not a musician. Has my research trumped yours, Vincenzo?
He may have.
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, but he didn't. Did he actually guest star on the album?
He helped inspire the
No.
song Picasso's Last Words.
That's true.
Drink to Me. In a dinner conversation, he said, I bet you can't write a song about this.
Yeah, Paul went to, while he was on vacation in Jamaica, he visited the set of Papillon, the movie being filmed.
Papillon.
Papillon and with Dustin Hoffman, and Paul and Dustin's wife went out to dinner, and Dustin Hoffman dared him to write a song about something in a magazine.
Yes, it was I think it was an article.
It was an article on Picasso's Last Words.
So, okay, a pseudo guest star, if you will.
Yes.
I have here, now I don't know if you I actually ranked the tracks 1 through 10
Okay.
in order of goodness.
Okay.
Do you have you have a mental list, or did you?
I do. As you mention them, I'll either agree or disagree with you.
You want me to go 10 to 1?
Do 1 to 10.
1 to 10.
1 to 10.
Number 1. There's only one song that it could be, and that's Band on the Run.
And that's absolutely right.
3-part mini opera, one of the best opening tracks in rock history. My thoughts. I don't know where.
Of Paul's, I think it's a tie between Band on the Run, Live and Let Die.
Did Live and Let Die open the album? That was just a one-off single.
That was just a one-off single. That came out around the same time. So if you're talking,
I said best opening track of a rock album.
I would agree. I would agree.
Number 2, I have Jet.
Jet. I like Jet. Jet was the song written by Paul and Linda about their dog, their retriever.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I know how much you love.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I gave these songs a quick listen.
Right.
Again, this is not in my wheelhouse.
Right.
But look what the things I do for everybody here on the world according to Dick Buttons. Number 3, I have Bluebird.
Love Bluebird. Beautiful love song.
Then Mrs. Vanderbilt.
I like Mrs. Vanderbilt also as the next one.
Then I'm going to Let Me Roll It.
Love.
Very Lennon-esque, by the way. If I had to pick one track on this album where it sounded like maybe an homage to his former bandmate.
Maybe a Olive Branch, because they had been squabbling in the media. What made it so Lennon-esque is the echo.
Yes, that's what I am.
That great echo. And he actually, improved upon it, or maybe exaggerated it.
I got the feeling he was exaggerating it, but what do I know? Then I went with Mamunia. Am I saying that right?
Yes,
Mamunia. I don't know.
It was okay.
Then No Words.
Love No Words.
Denny Lane co-wrote it.
Yeah.
Helen Wheels coming in next, the U.S. version.
Yes, Helen Wheels, written for their Land Rover.
Is that it's not a play on Hell on Wheels?
It is.
Oh, it is. Okay.
That was the nickname for
I'm smart. I know what people say.
You are. The Hell on Wheels was the name of their Land Rover that got them everywhere, and very dependable, never broke down. I don't know why they can't make them that way today, but
what's happened to the state of songwriting? There's a song that has meaning, and nowadays we get WAP.
Yeah.
We all know what that means. All right. After Helen Wheels, I went with the Dustin Hoffman inspired song, not the worst song on the album, the second to worst.
Yeah.
Because at the last track, I have 1985.
See, 1985 needs to be moved up.
To where? Where would you put that?
I would put that up to number 4.
Oh my Lord.
Oh,
And
that's
drop-
such a great song.
You're dropping Vanderbilt down to 10?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd switch places.
Again, I mean, you have more.
It's just a great build up.
Your opinion means more than mine because I'm really not a Paul McCartney and Wings fans. I know the major hits they had. This was interesting researching because I learned a lot about him. And actually, look, my research is flawed. That was just the track order.
But I like the way they ran those songs, except for
So now I'm looking at here. Best track was Band on the Run, which is what I said.
right.
Worst track was Mamunia,
Mamunia.
whatever. I mean,
I don't think it means anything, by the way. I
Oh.
think he just made up the words as he usually did. He made up stories. He made up words. He just made stuff up.
I am the Eggman.
Cuckoo, could you?
It has anybody ever explained? So here again,
I think they were just all tripping.
Well, that's what I mean.
I think they were just all tripping and they were throwing stuff in. And admittedly, a lot of them said, yeah, we were just, it sounded very artistic, what we were saying and what was rhyming. And they were just making stuff up. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe this has something to do with their neighborhood or that somebody they knew down the street. No, they just made stuff up. It rhymed. It sounded good.
Rock and roll, baby. There was one song left off the album that they did record. Zoo Gang.
Yeah, they added some hidden tracks later. Even Hell on Wheels wasn't originally on the album. It was that was a hidden track, something that they put on the CD reissue for the American audience.
Right, and Zoo Gang did make it up as a B-side later on. Now, this album was released on December 5th, 1973 in the UK and not till April 1974 in the United States. It shot to number 1 in the US, UK, Canada, and Australia, staying on top for weeks. It sold over 6 million copies worldwide and spawned the 3 massive singles. You know, they were
Band on the Run, Jet, Hell on Wheels.
There you go. And it earned Grammy Awards and became Paul's critical comeback. So Band on the Run didn't just save McCartney's solo career, also his reputation.
Yeah, because he was lagging.
It cemented the Wings as a legitimate powerhouse and silenced the critics who said Paul was riding John Lennon's coattails.
Well, he was for a while.
How long? Lennon was still alive, right? Yes.
Oh,
he
yeah.
didn't die to get shot to the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's time for fun facts. Did your research give you any fun facts?
It did.
I have the album cover features McCartney, Linda, Denny, and celebrities like James Coburn, Christopher Lee, and John Conta, who I have no idea is, all posing as jail escapees.
Yes.
I did not know that. It made me go look it up so I could find those people. But again, I didn't have the album, so.
Somebody on Reddit had a response to the different people on the cover of the album and said, I'm embarrassed to say that for 20 years, I thought all those people on the front cover were the band members of Wings.
Well,
and why does one of them
Linda
look like
was,
James Coburn? Why does one of them look like Christopher Lee?
but Linda was in the band at that point, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there were 2 members. Let Me Roll It was often mistaken, as we said before, as a Lennon track. And John actually loved it.
Yeah, and as with all Beatles or McCartney or Lennon tracks, maybe even George Harrison, there was always that underlying tone of pot smoking or drug taking. So the Let Me Roll It thing, when I first heard it, I thought he was rolling a joint. But that was always in the back of his mind. This is what he said.
Well, because they were high most of the time.
They were.
The band's stolen demos, they were never recovered.
No, they weren't.
They had to recreate everything from memory. Now, who knows? You know, things happen for a reason. Maybe what they recalled from memory was an actual better song than what they had on the demos.
Possibly.
I mean, who knows? You have anything else to say? I mean, you know, this is going to be a quick segment.
Yeah, when they were shooting the cover of the album, the photographer had to get everybody in place, and I guess he had to get them still for 2 seconds.
Okay.
Just 2 seconds. But McCartney had a party the night before, and they were all a little hungover and high, and they had that little haze look. And the photographer had a hard time getting them all to pose because they kept falling over and they were laughing. And so he positioned them so that they're all leaning against each other and leaning against the wall so that they could take that shot. And then it got to a point where they were getting out of hand and it was laughing and crazy. So he got up on a ladder with a bullhorn and he said, "Everybody stand still."
And then took that.
And then took that shot, and that was 45 minutes later.
How many albums after that did Wings do?
I'm gonna take a guess.
I mean, I don't know. It's not a quiz. I'm asking.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. 5 or 6. I can.
What?
I think some of their best stuff, the other albums, were Venus and Mars.
Yeah. Oh, Kiss did a cover of that.
Did they?
Yes. I'll play it for you when we're done because I can't.
Have you heard them both? Were you?
Yeah, it's very faithful to.
Is it?
Yes.
Do you think it's an improvement? I mean, because sometimes I listen to a song and go, "Oh, I love that better than the original."
When I can't play it here because of copyright issues, and I don't want the copyright police coming after me. But I'll play it after. It was a faithful representation of the song. I will say that Gene and Paul trade off vocals.
Right.
Gene does the mellow parts.
Okay.
Or is it Paul? I think Paul does the mellow parts, and Gene comes in with the heavier part. Now, I think there's both heavy and mellow parts in the original as well.
There are.
Now, where did I came into Wings? Crazy Little Love Songs.
Silly.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're crazy. The song is silly.
Silly Little Love Song. That I remember. And what was the other big hit they had? It was big in the 80s, wasn't it? Or did they do all their shit in the 70s? Well, no, because it didn't come out till 73.
I know Live and Let Die was their really big jumping on point.
Oh, so that wasn't just the Paul McCartney thing? That was a Wings thing?
Yeah.
I never cared for that song.
Oh.
I've
seen that song live when McCartney played it in Philadelphia, and it is a spectacle. And not just, because they do the special effects and the lights, but everything accents those build up in that song.
It bothered me even more when Guns N' Roses did it.
Oh no, Guns N' Roses, that was a terrible version.
I mean, it sounded basically the same.
No.
Well, Axl's voice ruined it, but did it fit the movie? Because I don't remember.
Yes, because if you listen to the lyrics, and they'll always give the composer or the artist the breakdown of the movie so that they can hit on something. And that's probably the best James Bond song. We can get into that someday.
Better than Octopussy?
Much better than Octopussy.
I just wanted to say the name. That was Roger Moore, right? That was his last. That was his last one.
No. Live and Let Die?
Moonraker was his last one?
No, I think A View to a Kill was Roger Moore's last one.
Well, we could bring up James Bond. Another topic. So where would you rank this? Is this, if you had to put together a top 10 albums of all time, does this make your top 10?
It does. But it would probably be number 10.
Number 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wouldn't make, I mean, again, I'm not a big Paul McCartney fan. I understand his place in music history. And again, everything I know about this album, I learned doing research for this segment. So other than the big hits that I knew from the radio.
Oh, then I'll have to put a compilation together for you on a memory stick and let you plug that in. Some of the stuff is just, I think a lot of his albums have holes in them where you sit there and say, that was like a filler song, or that was just okay, or that was him just saying, Okay, I'm just gonna make something up in my head and see.
Well, how many albums actually have no filler? I mean, I think that's it's very hard to do.
I listened to a White Zombie album the other day from beginning to end, and I didn't hear filler. I've heard some.
I just can't. His voice is so grating on me.
Well, that's the whole point. That's his whole thing.
I understand that, but I don't.
And
the whole persona, he looks like a homeless person.
No, he looks like a crazy homeless person.
Okay.
There's a difference.
I mean, I know. Listen, every band has a gimmick, and he took his, and
that was a whole fake satanic thing that he did, like Ozzy. They just latched onto that as an idea, and then
why did he switch just to Rob Zombie? White Zombie broke up.
He did. Oh. Yeah, they had a female member of the original group. It was a great. They really played off of each other very well. Had some great ideas. The sound changed up on each song where you sat there and said, "Oh, this next song is just going to sound like the first one," and he just switched it up.
Okay, so maybe I have to go back and listen to White Zombie. Is it the same sound as his other shit? And I'm not saying shit in a derogatory way.
No, his stuff. He's got certain hooks, but he's played some. He did probably a better version of "We're an American Band" than the original.
Oh, I highly doubt that.
The guitarist was playing the guitar with his teeth, doing
was John
the national
Five
anthem.
Was John Five his guitar player at that point? Oh no, that's Marilyn Manson.
No, that's somebody else. You have to.
No, John Five played with.
See the video. Listen to that song. If you've not, it's great.
I will do that, but I have a hard time I already don't like his vocals, so saying it's better than Grand Funk Railroad is
it's a fantastic take, and the intro is just out of this world.
Why can't we I'm gonna research that. Why can't I play fucking music?
I think it is a copyright issue because it's just the same. I think it's the same way.
Yeah, but I'm not making money off this shit. There's no sponsors on my thing.
Oh, so maybe if you finally on YouTube or something, that's where they kill you.
Oh, speaking of which, I ordered the backdrop.
Oh, very nice.
Because now, for my 60th birthday, my friends gave me the World According to Dick Button's Best Ranting podcast. Have to live up to that now.
That's right.
So there will be a 10 by 10 banner in the back with my logo. I'm going to have to get a better camera because this camera's not cutting it, or more lighting. Maybe this camera would cut it, but I doubt it. I mean, I watch this stuff on YouTube. I think we need a better camera. So if anybody wants to send in donations to the World According to Dick Buttons, they'll gladly be accepted. You think we're ready to wrap this up? I have a closing thing.
Oh, okay.
You had a big book there. You never looked into it once there, Vincenzo. It's all up there?
It's all up there.
All up there.
I just had to write it down first.
So Band on the Run wasn't just a comeback. It was a career-defining moment, and it showed that even after the Beatles, Paul McCartney could still craft a timeless classic that rocked arenas, ruled the charts, and rewrote his legacy.